But everybody else, I said no.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
God, I can't eat that.
back in session, I think.
Okay.
Does it go back?
Transfers fund.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the carry forwards for 2012. David?
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2013-25, which are the carry forwards from 2012 into various general fund accounts.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Kathy?
The list of carry forwards are follow the resolution in your package. If you have any questions, I'm sure we can answer it. We can have Shirley answer it.
Anybody got any questions? You ready?
Oh, not
Not quite. Go to your voter, ready for it
Yep,
now?
yep.
Go to the voter board and vote yes or no.
It's cold in here now.
That is passed on a vote of 21-0. Next item is approval of the non-native invasive plant species control grant, Forest Service. Hugh, would you like to make a motion and explain it?
I'll make that motion to approve Resolution 1326.
Is there a second? Second by Cleet.
Resolution 1326, 27, and 28, a result of coming to the county board prior to going to the LCC committee was there was not a quorum for the last month's meeting, and so we didn't have a meeting. So all three of these will have to go back and be approved by the Land Conservation Committee before the funds are spent. And so what we're asking for is the approval of the grants, though, from the various grantors. And this one is for, I think, $30,000, the first one. Yeah, so.
Grant, if it gets approved here at the county board, does it have to go back to the Land Conservation Committee, or is this final approval here?
Final approval here, the Land Conservation Committee is charged with the responsibility to oversee the administration of the grant funds, and in that respect, the Land Conservation Committee has authority and jurisdiction.
Okay, but do they have to, for instance, if we were to pass it here and they were voted down, then what happens?
Internally, the county board is the final authority on whether to accept. The expenditure of those funds would be, though, at the LCC's discretion based on their authority to oversee the administration of the grant dollars.
Does your motion include all three resolutions?
No, we can take them
Okay,
one at a time if you
okay.
want, sure.
Anybody got any questions on resolution 26? I think I'll just take a voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is passed. 27, you?
Same deal, it's a different amount of money. This is $2,350 from the town of Union for parsnips, control of wild parsnips.
You making the motion?
I am, sir.
Who's seconding it?
I'll second.
Holly. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. 28,
This is some money for trim grants, which is target runoff management, and it is, I believe, $214,000. It'll be for various projects throughout the county, and of course, the LCC will oversee the administration of these funds
okay. Motion
by me.
okay, seconded by Cletus. Any questions?
Wake up, everybody.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next resolution is 2013-29, supporting efforts to maintain the tax exempt status of municipal bonds. Susan?
I move that we adopt Resolution 2013-29, supporting the efforts to maintain tax-exempt status of municipal bonds.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Dale. You want to explain it or take
Yeah,
questions?
briefly. This came to Legislative Committee from the National Counties Association, and then with a follow-up from Wisconsin Counties Association asking for this. There are apparently some proposals at the federal level to eliminate, either to reduce and limit the amount of tax exempt status, or to eliminate it altogether. And there are lots of consequences to local municipalities' ability to bond. if this were to pass, and so we considered it and are asking for your approval.
Is there any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. Let me see now. The next one is the county snowmobile trail for the snow season. Is that, go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, I guess that one comes to our Airport and Parks Committee. This is an annual request that we have. I'll read the resolution starting on line 13. Be it further resolved that the Door County Parks and Airport Director, subject to the oversight of the Door County Airport and Parks Committee, is hereby authorized to act on behalf of Door County and apply to the state of Wisconsin, Department of Natural Resources, and any other sources for aid under section 23.09 sub 26 Wisconsin statute B, and execute documents and take all actions necessary to receive the aid and undertake and complete funded projects. What this is snowmobile registration money coming back through the state to the counties, and we are basically a payer out to the various snowmobile clubs to maintain their existing trails and new trails.
Make a motion then?
I make a motion.
Is there a second? Seconded by Richard Haynes. Any questions? Go ahead, Ken.
Just a comment, sir. When this finally passes, could they please spell my name correctly?
Oh, what happened there?
Oh, my God.
That's spelled like the nut.
Well, when you get here a little bit longer, they'll be doing
You got
that.
a Jewish translation of it.
It's spelled like the nut.
It's corrected on a good copy, I'm told.
All right, good.
Okay.
Take it.
Takes a long time for some people to catch on. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That has passed. Communications Advisory Technical Committee. They've asked to add 2 people. Mark, you're in charge of that, right?
Yeah, at the last CATS meeting, we were looking at the actual listing of who was on the committee, and for instance, not specific to the person, but specific to the office, the fire departments, who of course have had great effect on getting us these grants, did not have a seat at the committee, and we also felt that the highway department, being the other, one of the bigger departments in communications in the county, could benefit from the expertise on the CATS committee and could share in what's going on there. So we thought that it would be important to include those 2 seats on the committee.
Grant, do we have to come back here if we appoint someone specific to the Joint Fire Chiefs, or should we put the name on it now? I think you know what it is.
We
isn't it?
did.
Pardon?
We did. It's in the attachment.
Oh, okay.
If you approve this one, then the next one. If not, we'll have to amend the next one because we
Okay.
already put it in there.
What's the name
Chris Hack.
Chris Hack.
then? Just so, mine doesn't have that, so.
It's the
And the
attachment.
highway, commissioner. Are there any questions? Are you going to make a motion to that effect?
Oh yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded by Biz?
Second.
Okay, is there any other questions?
I'll just make a comment that, and I'm on the CATS committee on behalf of the law enforcement, where the CATS committee is advisory to the IS department, and there's a lot going on, a real lot going on. We just approved this morning the simulcast, that federal grant and then the county's match of $125,000. And the 2 towers that have been approved, you know, the construction is starting on them soon. They wanted to wait until the snow melts. But there's other things going on with Verizon wanting to build a tower on the Brussels Hill, and private enterprise that wants space on towers. There's a real lot going on. So this is a good thing to involve the Joint Fire Chiefs and also the Highway Commissioner designee to be there, because they're a big part of the communications. And the only other thing I'll add is because of this narrow banding that we're under the law, that's created a lot of this challenge with building more towers and getting a proper signal out so that we have good communications to fire, police, and rescue and highway.
Is there any questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is passed. Now, the committee appointments, Maureen, you want to explain that one?
Certainly. There's only 2 changes this year, and they are both to appointments being made by the administrator. Thank you to Cleet for his service to Glacierland. Joel will now be the appointment to Glacierland, subject to your confirmation today. And the other 2 appointments are to the Communications Advisory Technical Subcommittee, now that you've approved that resolution. They are adding a joint fire chief, and that would be Chris Hecht, and adding John Kaloji or his designee to the CATS committee.
A couple of senior advisory members also, I believe.
That have changed? Yes, I think you're correct.
Right.
The Senior Advisory Committee, there's a few that have changed on, that is on page 3. Mark is correct, thank you.
Motion to approve the appointments.
So moved.
Mark Miller, seconded by Biz. Are there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is passed. Number 14, ordinances, denial report, amendment, text camping and high density. Chairman of RPC, you want to explain this? And they spelled it right this time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We actually discussed this twice. This is, it was requested by Kim Eggert, petition for an amendment to section 4.07, sub 3, to create section 4.07, sub 3B1 as follows. Town of Union special development requirements. It deals with the ability to put a camper on your property. And she wanted us to expand the number and the period of time with that they could stay there without removing it, and add, was it add or expand storage time? Add. Okay. And what she wanted, let's see, where do I have it here? Oh, yeah. It wanted 2 camping units allowed per lot. Camping take place up to a total of 80 days in a calendar year, and up to 2 camping units may be stored on a vacant lot. We talked about this the day of the hearing, decided there were alternatives to it, or possible alternatives to it. So we scheduled it for the next meeting. Talked about all the different options we would have by expanding the number of campers, the number of days they could stay, be it 15 days, 30 days, 40 days, and whether they could or couldn't store it there. When it was all done, it was like one of our meetings here on the county board where we argue and argue for an hour, and we take the vote, and everybody's in total agreement, and that's what it was. We all decided it was good as it is, it's working, and so we turned down the request.
So are you going to make a motion
I
to
will make a
approve the
motion
denial?
to accept the denial, yes, sir.
Okay, is there a second? Second by David.
Thank goodness.
Are there any questions? We're going to go to the voter board for this
You
one.
had some good ones today.
Yeah. Go ahead, Roy.
Clarification, accept the denial means a yes vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes
Yes.
means no.
Well, yes means you agree with the committee.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Can't do that.
Go ahead, Clete.
I know it's a.
Then I'd be remiss if I didn't comment on this one. It's been a very difficult issue, and I don't really like commenting on it, but I have to because I have to represent some of the people that are there on both sides of the issue. This started 6 or 8 months ago, like Ken said, didn't get to the Resource Planning Committee until a couple or 3 months ago, but we met with the planning department, Mariah and others. We want to try to do something for these people so that they could continue using this property like it had been for, I don't know how many years, 35.
I think that's it.
Anyway, one of the plans, or at least that was submitted, was to rezone this from residential 20 to a high density, and that would accomplish, but so that they could do this. But this would take it all the way down to what we call a camping ground, 2 or 3 miles down the road, and everything would be rezoned up to the Gardner line. So at that time, I was chairman, and I passed that on to the Planning Commission. Planning Commission dealt with it, but the town board never did. When the county Resource Planning Committee called for the hearing, all hell broke loose at my place. Telephone calls and letters that were read at the RPC. So there was an awful lot of opposition. And although the town board never considered it because they weren't really making any changes, I doubt very much if the town board would have approved, or they'd went along with the RPC. But I don't know that. So the town's going to have to take it on their own now. You talked about grandfathering at the RPC, and they felt that, or at least the planning department felt that grandfathering would not be possible. Well, they've checked with the Wisconsin Towns Association, and they said, yes, you may well have a case. So I don't know what they're going to be do with it, but the Town Plan Commission recommendation is what I'm going to have to, the way I'm going to have to vote. I'll probably be the only one in this room voting in opposition to the amendment, but that's all right. I have to cast one way or another. So the recommendation from the Planning Commission that the Union Town Board grandfather this, of course that doesn't affect this, with the above listed conditions and send a letter in favor of the county text amendment application from Kim Eggert. So I'm not voting on behalf of the town board, I'm voting only on behalf of the Planning Commission. Remember that.
Are there any other questions?
I just felt I had to explain what my position is going to be.
Okay. A yes vote will be in favor of denial of the RPC committee. So go to your voter board. It's got to be a recorded vote.
We're doing yes.
If you agree with that.
I agree with that, but you're right.
What? I agree with you.
Reasonable.
Hey, what?
Man.
Voted no.
Well, it's just locked. There
Oh,
you go. There you
okay.
That is past 19 yes, 2 no.
Leah, well,
Those town chairmen like to stick together. Next item is, under new business, the resignation of the Door County Fair Association Officer, Mary Brand. And we have a person to appoint to succeed the term of her unexpired term, which, pardon?
Elect.
Go ahead.
Technically, we elect. That was an error, so.
Okay. Yeah, technically it's an election. The recommendation of the Fair Board, Fat Ash, is John White. And it's for, I don't know how long Mary's lasted. She got another 2 years left, I think, almost, doesn't she? Or does it go yearly? Yearly.
I think it's yearly.
Yearly,
Yeah.
so the appointment will last till November of this year. And Thad Ash and the board has recommended that John White be that person. There's no conflict or anything that he's employed by the Parks Department to be on the board?
No.
Okay, so go ahead, Hugh.
Can you tell us a little bit about this person?
Yes, I don't know who. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? He works for the Parks Department, has been involved with the fairgrounds for the maintenance man out there and knows everything about the fair.
Do you want me to read the email from Thad?
Go ahead, read the, Bill Fong's grandson.
This is an email from Thad Ash, the patrol superintendent and also head of the county fair officers. After several phone calls and personal interviews, we as the fair officers would like to place John White on the fair board to fill the position recently opened because of Mary Brand's resignation. With his vast knowledge of the grounds and how the fair works, as he has been at the fair since a toddler, his grandfather and ex-officer, he would be able to hit the ground running, which would be important as the fair is fast approaching.
Go ahead, Roy.
Yes, I've worked with John White for the past 7 years, and a very cooperative man to work with, and I enjoyed working with him.
Okay, I guess what we need is a nomination, don't we? Grant, huh? Got a nominate?
You've got one nominee.
Go.
I'll
Chuck?
nominate John White for that
Okay.
position.
Is there any other nominations?
No.
Dale,
Do we have
go
to
ahead.
second that, or? Nomination. I'll second the nomination.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Just take a voice vote on that then?
That's fine.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? He's the man. The next item is a broad overview of public meetings law. Granto's going to give us a statement on that this morning that was going to last an hour, and he says there's a 45-minute film coming out from UW Extension that'll do a better job, right? Or an equal job.
Maybe an equal job.
Okay.
Yeah, the long and the short of it, they're through the local government center, the University of Wisconsin Extension has a 10-part video. Each part is approximately 5 minutes in length. That's available on DVD. That looks like it came out in February of this year. I've communicated with Rob Burke. He's ordered it, and what I would suggest is that we delay this until the May meeting, and if you give me 50 minutes, we'll be able to get through it. The other thing I would suggest too, and there's plenty of leeway here, is the Attorney General is having a webinar on open meetings on October 31st from 9 to 10:30 a.m., which is followed by a question and answer period. That might not be a bad thing to get through either, but we'll see how we feel after we go through the training in-house. So.
Are there any questions? If not, we'll go to oral committee reports. Anybody have any? Go down to committee minutes. Anybody got any questions on committee minutes? Review of the vouchers, claims, and bills. Does anybody have any questions on them? If not, the next county board meeting is Tuesday, April 30th. We're going to go through the employees manual, and we're going to recess at 11:30 and go to a legislative annual meeting, and then if we have to reconvene to finish off the employees manual.
And health insurance.
And health insurance, and we're going to talk about health insurance also. And administrative book, or what is that called again? The other?
Employee handbook.
Employee handbook.
You're good.
And then the regular meeting of county board on May 28th at 9 a.m. And you have just another hour or so to sign up for the annual banquet with Jill. Otherwise, opening is closed at the end of the day, correct?
What's on the menu?
I have no idea.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Run through that next Tuesday next meeting.
Next
again.
Tuesday, we're going to meet at 9 o'clock to
Yeah.
do health insurance and employees manual.
Yeah, in the
And we're
morning.
going to recess at 11:30.
Or
For-
adjourn.
For what?
Or adjourn, yeah, very good. To go either adjourn or recess to go to the annual meeting for the Economic
Oh, you,
Development
okay,
Corporation.
you said legislation days.
Okay. Yeah, okay, the annual meeting of the.
Yeah, you said legislation days.
Okay, correct.
April the 30th.
He was confused.
And then,
Is it April the 30th?
It's hard to believe,
That
but
we're talking about? Okay.
and we will
Yes.
reconvene if we have to. More, go ahead, Biz.
Question for the administrator, is every county board member going to get a paper copy of the manual prior to the April 30th meeting?
Yes.
Not
Two
the
things will
manual,
happen.
the handbook.
I'm sorry?
The handbook.
Yes, the employee handbook, yes. And depending upon what the Risk Management and Insurance Committee does at its meeting on April 23rd, on the 25th of that week, this would be the Thursday before your meeting on the 30th, I will send out paper copies of the employee handbook, as well as paper copies of what was hopefully adopted by the Risk Management and Insurance Committee at its meeting on Tuesday, the 23rd. So you'll get paper copies of both items, in addition to it being posted to the main website, like we always do with our board packets. So you'll have a paper copy of the employee manual and the health insurance recommendation in your hands, depending upon the mail system, hopefully that weekend. And it also will be posted to the website in case that doesn't arrive in your house.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any other questions? John Ninus.
Well, I just got an announcement. In early May, the Highway Committee is going to be going on their annual road inspection. So if anybody's got a road in their district that you believe we need to look at, either contact the Highway Department or a committee member, and we'll take a look at it and try and get you an answer back as to where it fits into our schedule for repairs.
Okay.
My driveway needs some help.
Yeah.
Huh?
My driveway needs some help.
Can't get in
Motion to adjourn,
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
second by Biz. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
there.